2006 when he took over as the in charge and coordinator of SNDT Women's University College. And in 2015, sir joined the Maharashtra National Law University, Mumbai as professor and head of the Department of PG Studies. In 2019, sir joined the MIT University, Mumbai as professor of its law school, and in August 2019 joined Maharashtra National Law University, Mumbai as professor and director, Center for Research in Criminal Justice and Controller of Examinations. Sir is also holding the positions of chair professor of environmental law, officer on yes, areas of interest are areas of interest are constitutional law, environmental law. Uh, Scholars have been awarded PhD degree supervision. Today, sir will on the topic of emerging technologies and environmental justice. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation on such a short notice. Thank you so much. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are
Can you
audible.
get? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are clearly audible, sir.
Yeah. Uh, the respected head of the department, members of the faculty, and all the participants, I believe all of them are PhD scholars. So I'm so happy that I got an opportunity to be with you and also to speak on a subject which has a lot of relevance in the modern day research since I was a late entrant into the I'm a late entrant into this program. I don't know how much justice I can do, but I will try my level best to do to share some of my thoughts with you. So now this today's topic is between two concepts, that is development of technology and other one is protection of environment. India as a land, we were always in the forefront of development of science and technology. Even from the ancient times, we can find that we had been ahead of many nations in the world when it comes to science and technology, though many of our traditional knowledge in this field have not been preserved properly, or it has been lost with the passage of time, or due to foreign invasion, whatever it is. But it is a matter of pride for a community or a country that we have always been in the forefront of science and technological development. Our historical monuments, our forts, the development of science, which we had the system of medicine, that is Ayurveda and other Indian systems of medicine, and the astronomical knowledge we had, though we do not have any evidence of any designated instruments, but we have developed astronomical knowledge, and we had developed science of space, all those things. But not to speak about the ancient era, even you will find that in the year 1930, much before independence, Indian scientist Sir C.V. Raman was awarded with the Nobel Prize in Physics. So that itself shows that our people, our scientists were in the forefront of, or we were not lesser or behind of any other developed nation in the world of the time. But at the time when we got independence in 1947, our economy was almost at the verge of breakdown. And you will always find, from the political point of view, all the nations which have gained independence during those time as part of the larger decolonization policy, the democracies were short-lived. They could not sustain a democratic system in the country. You will find the example of our own neighbor who attained freedom along with us under the same from the same imperial ruler. It has we could sustain mainly because of our 5-year plans, which focused on first on agriculture development and then on industrial development. So after independence, regaining control of agriculture production was the largest task which the framers of our modern government, framers or modern they have to face regaining control over agriculture production. So a lot of scientific research have been put into the areas of agriculture development and agriculture production. You will find that research institutions which focused on yield, developing new seeds, finding new technological input into agriculture was established in many parts of the country. There also even there was a geographical justification in establishing such institutions. So what happened? The irrigation system was developed, dams have been built, canals have been built, effective use of modern fertilizers were brought into, pesticides uh, were used, or even production of all these things have increased. This all happened because of the development of agriculture technology alongside the economy. And the conventional power sources have been replaced with modern power sources. Agriculture equipments were modernized using technology, because effective fertilizers, pesticides, power resources and agricultural implements were lacking at the time when we got independence. So the focus on agriculture and industry side by side from 1950 to almost 60-67, it has resulted in a silent technological revolution in our country. The result you will find that the technological advancement which India has achieved during this period was not limited only to agriculture technology or the chemical steel and iron industry or chemicals and fertilizers industry, but of course, green revolution, I am giving much credit to green revolution, and green revolution owes a lot to industrialization and use of technology. Again, the technological development which we have attained has even gone beyond our earth, and it has gone to space. And a newly born country, a newly born political democracy, a developing economy could launch its indigenously developed satellite Aryabhatta in the year 1975. So it was, see, the major nations in the world, they they could not digest this. How a political economy which is in its infantry or nascent stage can do this. And they did not stop even there. By 1980, we could develop strategic missiles. And today, we have become one of the major military powers in the world. Today, in the world fora, India's voice is being listened, accepted, and admired because of its power, military power, economic power, one of the largest, markets in the world. And India was able to develop DNA printing as early as in 1988. In 1988, again, we conducted nuclear test in Pokhran. Another achievement which is in the health sector. See, health technology, pharmaceutical technology, that we have developed to such an extent that, if you recall, in the 80s, 60% of the global polio cases were in India. 60% of the polio cases across the globe was in India. And the polio eradication program, which the government of India has implemented with all its vigor, has transformed India into a polio-free country within 20 years, within 2 decades. And at par with the developed nations, we have also launched, or we have been successful in exploring the space. You may recall the Chandrayaan and Mangalyaan, all these things which we have done. And the most important technological development what we can see, to summarize what I say, is how, as a technological economy, we confronted the COVID-19 pandemic. First of all, if you take the percentage of the death versus population ratio, you will find the percentage of COVID death had been very less in India, though number may be higher. When it is put in ratio with our entire population, the percentage is very less. But most remarkable achievement was that India has been described as the pharmacy of the world. We have successfully developed the COVID vaccine and supplied to all the countries in the world. Even the most scientific, the so-called self-proclaimed most scientifically developed nations were dependent on India for COVID vaccine. In many international forums, world leaders, heads of state have publicly commended India for saving the life of their population. So this is one good aspect of our technological development. I just highlighted a certain instances where which are not worthy at this juncture, but it has also a lot of bad or lot of negative impact, and those impact are mainly on our environment. Why I'm telling on our environment? As a generation, as a community, as a demographic entity, we may say, we are so connected with the environment right from our origin. Even before the world has ever thought of sustainable ecological sustenance, our concept was of Vasudhaiva Kutumpagam. So we have considered the entire world as a one single entity, and every living creature in this world, in this environment, had equal space in this ecology. And I will tell you one simple example where how beautifully our ancient scriptures have valued this concept. See you know, we have, of course, long back we have developed a science of construction, which we call today as Vastu Shastra, one of the most misused and ill commercialized shastras of ancient India. So if you refer to many of the text, authenticated text, authorized text of Vastu Shastra, you will find that there are in those days houses were built with woods. So how to cut wood, how to get wood? It is said that you can cut trees for making house and buildings. And what tree has to be cut? Only the trees which have lived its life and attained contentment. Understand the way, use of the word contentment. Just like human beings, we feel contented. The trees will also feel contented with their life. Such trees have to be cut. But before cutting, we have to understand that one tree is not only a tree or a one life. It is also a larger ecosystem which is housing lot of birds, lot of small animals, insects, creatures, etc. So there had been certain rituals to be performed wherein you seek the permission of the tree to be cut and also request the living beings in this ecosystem to relocate them to another ecosystem. So this itself speaks in volume how Indian system has valued environment and how we were connected with environment. So now we will understand that the development of technology had its own negative impact on our environment. But today we'll find there is no day, not even a single day which where we will not find a news in our media where the society is fighting against an industry, fighting against a chemical or any other mode of pollution or pollutant. And pollution and sustaining the economy, addressing pollution, sustaining the economy has become a global subject, subject of importance, global subject of importance. But can you stop technology? Can you abandon technology? It is also not possible. See, the use of technology has, just now we have seen what are the areas where we have developed. It has improved our standard of life, our quality of life, longevity of life. We are enjoying a lot of comforts in the life with respect to health, life with the position with respect to our own protection. All these things are result of technological developments. So with this much of facilities, with this much of benefits to the with the economy as well as society in common, can we give away, can we stop technological development? It is not. If you see today, I can tell you 5 major environmental threats which has direct bearing on technological development as far as India is concerned. It is also true in the global level. First one is air pollution. Air pollution. Air pollution, you see, according to the World Air Quality Report of 2021, India is the land of 63% of most polluted cities. That means 63% of the most polluted cities in the world are in India, and our own capital, New Delhi, is considered to be the worst capital, the capital with the worst air quality in the world. And it is also come as a finding of the study that tiny polluting particles in the air in India is almost 10 times higher than the standards prescribed by World Health Organization. Now you can understand what is the health hazard we are facing with respect to air. See, there are so many reasons: vehicular emission, industrial smoke from our, you know, uh, fuels, then waste or pollutant generated from the construction sector, crop burning, and the generating power using outdated technologies. All these things, and India is considered to be the world third largest polluter as far as air is concerned. World's third largest air polluter, and it is an estimated 2.65 billion metric tons. 2.65 billion metric tons of carbon is thrown to atmosphere every year by India. So this is it's a fact. We have to address this issue in a very effective manner. Unfortunately, so though we are doing many things, uh, effective control measures are not being taken in addressing these issues. Second problem we can identify, which has again direct relation to industrial development, is water pollution. See, all these points which we are discussing today are subjects worth researching. But one more thing, incidentally, I would tell you, as far as the research in India is concerned, environmental law research is to great extent, by and large, disconnected with environmental science and environment management. So if you are able to link environmental problems with environmental management and environmental science, and also able to provide for the environmental justice framework, that is what our major another area of our discussion, environmental justice, then it will be very much beneficial to the society, and it will bring out beautiful research, what I must say. So coming back to the water pollution, you know, uh, besides the air, we can say that our waterways have become extremely polluted, and I'm so pained to say that 70% of the surface water we have in India is estimated to be unfit for consumption, unfit for drinking. Why I'm telling you, since personally I'll tell you, my father was working in railways, and we were always in transfer, and we used to travel a lot. So I have seen in my childhood, when the train stops in a railway station, people go out. There will be a public tap in the platform. 4 or 5 public taps will be there. We used to collect water from that tap, and we used to drink that. So every person traveling across India could drink water directly from the, the water which is available in that particular area. Max to max, what you do, you may boil the water and take, that's all. But today, we have to pay and purchase water for drinking. You cannot go and drink water from your pipeline, even if it is supplied by your municipality. Even if it is boiled, you are not able to drink. You have to purchase water. I don't know the quality of the purchased drinking water. It also contains a lot of pollutants and lot of even people say that it contains bacteria which are harmful to the health. So you know uh, that is 70% of our surface water is not fit for drinking. No, and if you take the cost of water pollution for the economy, we must understand that India is a middle income economy. So the water pollution can result in direct loss of DGP, GDP. So India, it is feared that India is facing water pollution to the tune of $7.7 billion every year. $7.7 billion every year. That is the cost of water pollution we are facing as an economy we are facing. So this loss, when associated with the 9% of drop in agricultural revenues, because water pollution causes two effects. One is direct loss in GDP towards addressing the water pollution. Another is because of polluted water, agriculture revenue falls, and the drop is 9% every year. Now, it also results in 16% decrease in downstream agriculture yield. So threefold threat we are having because of water pollution. And coming to health, see, water pollution, air pollution and water pollution directly hit our health, but water pollution is something which is more formidable because majority of the population are prone to waterborne diseases like typhoid, cholera, hepatitis, and a lot of such diseases. So the water pollution related diseases, you know, there is an estimated 4 lakh human casualties every year. Every year. 4 lakh people die of water pollution related diseases. One thing. And an average 40 million Indian 40 million Indians are affected by waterborne diseases every year. Every year. In addition to that, it also damages crop that we have seen, and infectious bacteria coming out of water disease because it is giving birth to new type of bacteria and virus. It brings in a new type of diseases. And now if you have a close look, majority of our rivers and lake have become open sewers for residential and industrial waste. We are flowing the industrial and residential waste recklessly to our rivers and lakes. You have the Ganga pollution case with you. Of course, there was somebody to take the cause of Ganga to court. There are so many other rivers which have worse fate than Ganga, but it has not come to the court. But the situation is very grim as far as these water bodies are concerned. The thing is that the toxic substances which is there in the water, like pesticides, herbicides, oil products, heavy metals. See, these can kill aquatic organisms. It can alter their aquatic environment, by which it will become extremely difficult for aquatic species to survive. It will have its after effect on the human race itself. And the third, I'm not, due to positive time, I'm not going deep into that. You know, in Chennai, you will understand that during the period between 2016 to 2019, there had been a rise in level of flood due to untimely rains. Of course, it is resulting out of climate change that we will take up a little later. And another challenge is food and water shortage. Food and water shortage. See, when the water is getting polluted, naturally, lack of drinking water. We have seen that it has its own effect on agriculture yielding. A drop of agriculture yield is happening. So it will result in food shortage, water and food shortage. And the experts say that India will have to pay the highest price for climate change in the world. As far as climate crisis is concerned, India will have to pay the highest price. We will be the most affected country, because immediately we are going to see, scientists have warned 5 years back, or almost 10 years, 1 decade back, I must say, that we are going to have immediate effect on our climate, like extreme weather events, say flash floods, widespread wildfires, cloud burst, landslides, all these things that we are seeing now. See, the North Indian states which are not expecting to have rain at this season are expecting heavy rains. Even our capital city was flooded with water when it was not a season for rain. And in many parts of the southern India where monsoon has to set in, uh, rain has set in later, very late, or yet to commence. Set in, monsoon is yet to commence or set in. So this change has come. This change has come because of the indiscriminate interference and exploitation of the nature environment by man. So, okay, before addressing that, the next challenge, the fourth challenge, which has a direct impact of technology on environment, is waste management. See, industrialization creates a lot of waste, direct waste as well as indirect waste. Indirect waste are the waste which are created as a byproduct of industrialization. See, the increased level of lifestyle, more comforts which we have, it has also created lot of waste into our system. And India, as we are aware, we are the second largest population in the world. And you know what is the estimated amount of the waste we generate? 277 million tons of solid waste. 277 million tons of solid waste. It is only in the municipal, it is a statistics of corporations and municipalities where proper statistics is maintained. So if this goes in this same pace, by the end of 2030, our waste will amount to 387 million tons. it will be it will double of that. Okay, we can say almost 400 million tons, and it will almost come to 800 million tons by 2050. So there are so many reasons for that. You see, every reason is a subject of research. Rapid urbanization, change of lifestyle, change of culture, all these things, they all contribute to the growth of waste in the system. Plastic crisis. India actually is facing a plastic crisis, which, if you look at, can be said the worst in the world. The report published by Central Pollution Control Board says that India by 2020 has produced 2021 produces more than 25,000 tons of plastic waste, which accounts for almost 6% of this total solid waste generated in India. Understand? The plastic waste consists of almost 6% of our total solid waste. And our position is second among the top 20 countries having high proportion of plastic emissions globally. So, by 2020, the government has announced that there will be a ban of manufacture and sale and distribution of single-use plastic. And it has also helped a lot. But as we are aware, our system has its own loophole, and people find many other ways to circumvent the things. And apart from plastic, there are large quantity of waste which is coming. That is, all our electronic things, electronic gadgets we use, our mobile phones, our computer, tablets, everything. They all add to the amount of the quantity of waste, solid waste. Now we have been speaking about the science, space science, air science, and the developments which we have attained with respect to air and space. See, this has even created polluting the atmosphere. Not only the atmosphere, polluting the space. See, if you take, sometimes you may be surprised to know that the geo space orbit has a lot of debris there. The part and parcels of abandoned satellites. It is there in the geostationary object. It is creating issues and problems to other live satellite also. So the ambit of pollution is not limited to the earth or the atmosphere. It has even reached the space itself. But after 100 years, what would be the situation? You may imagine. And most important, and the fifth one is loss of biodiversity. If you take India, India has 4 major biodiversity hotspots: the Himalayas, the the Western Ghats, the Indo-Burma region, and the Sunda lands, that is which includes the Andaman Nicobar Islands. The biodiversity hotspots are facing danger to the existence because of pollution, because of industrial pollution, to be more precise. This These threats are coming from, you know, mainly due to water contamination. Again, a technology-related issue. Then changing the ecosystem in the aquatic culture. Again, an issue related to technology. Another is deforestation. It is very, very important. Again, it is a global issue. So all these issues which we have discussed just now, they have one or other connect with the technology. And the most important effect the technology has brought into the environment, though not limited to India, is the global warming. Global warming. See, the expert says that right from the beginning of this century, right from the beginning of this century, the temperature of Earth, the temperature of the Earth has been increasing in the sense it has always been all-time high with an increase of 0.8 degrees Celsius. 0.8 degrees Celsius means it is very, see, even if it comes to 1 degree Celsius, it is sufficient to submerge many parts of the world, many part of the Earth's surface. This global warming has again direct relation to the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. As of now, the level of carbon dioxide is highest in the world in its history of the last 4.5 million years. That is what uh, experts say. Reason again, burning of fossil fuels, deforestation, industrial emissions, again air pollution. All these things account for all this. All the account to the global warming. So now these are realities where we have to strike a balance. So we can never discard technology. So the mute question is whether technology is a boon or a curse. There may be environmentalists who say that technology is a curse, but absolutely I don't subscribe to the view technology is a boon. It is not the technology which creates a problem. What creates a problem is improper improper use of or misuse of technology is one which creates the actual problem. So the legal system has to play a vital role in developing a framework wherein you ensure only proper use of technology. Again, the solution for environmental pollution itself is there in the technology. I will tell you a few things. Again, I know that time is a constraint, but still, I'll tell you a few things. One is which I have noted down. One is uh, agriculture technology development has created a lot of air as well as water pollution. We, being an agrarian economy traditionally, we cannot close eyes towards agriculture technology development, which we need it. But what is required is we should have a sustainable agricultural technological development, sustainable development of agriculture technology, where proper water irrigation quality management must be ensured. The existing legal framework within our Water Act is not sufficient for that. And pesticides we have to. You may, but it has its own effect. You have the case of, you may be knowing the endosulfan case in Kerala, which has happened. But not using pesticide is not the solution. What is the solution is bringing an integrated pest management system backed by technology. And technology can be used for monitoring the soil quality, because soil is dependent on so many factors like temperature, soil moisture, then microbial diversity. So these things can be scientifically monitored, so that proper soil monitoring system must be developed. Again, waste management. Waste management is something which has to be achieved by technology. So technology empowered waste management, recycling of waste, from waste to energy, transformation from waste to energy through technology is one of the major solution for waste management, because waste cannot be managed manually no more. Or even now we will find in many of the cities, collection of waste is done with the use of technology. So waste management, waste recycling, waste reuse, all can be better managed with the use of technology. So technology has to be brought in for proper and beneficial use. The legal framework should provide that. That is where the environmental justice comes into picture. Environmental justice is a larger area of research where you can integrate all these things from its relevant points. And the environmental justice is basically founded on mainly four principles, because there are other principles also, but major four principles are that. One is the environmental justice framework incorporates in itself the principle of right of every individual to be protected from environmental degradation. That is, right to have a wholesome environment. It is my right as an individual, no matter whether I'm a citizen of India or not. As a individual on the surface of earth, it is my right to have protection for me against environmental degradation and its related hazards. So understand and find out where our legal system is lacking in ensuring this. That shall be a major area of research. Next principle is it adopts the public health model of prevention as a preferred strategy for addressing these issues. What is the public health model of prevention? Public health, you have vaccination. That is one of the very good example of public health model of prevention. That is eliminating the threat well before the harm is caused. Eliminating the threat well before the harm is caused. So measures must be developed to eliminate the threat before actual damage is caused to the environment. Third one is shift of burden of proof from polluter to discharges. I need not explain that. You know the polluter pays principles and everything. That is already the environmental jurisprudence has developed like that. And the last one, it is allowing disparate impact and statistical weightage opposed to intent, because it is not the intention of the polluter which is material as far as environmental justice is concerned. What is concerned is uncomparable impact of the action on the environment. Whether you have bad intention, good intention, immaterial. If your act has sustained damage to the environment, you have to repair the damage. So from this, why I am not discussing the case laws, because case laws you are very much aware. So therefore, I thought I'll discuss only the major points and principles. So I would like to bind up my discussion now due to the time constraints and everything, and I don't know how far I could do justice to my own duty because of the lack of time for preparation. Anyhow, once again, I thank the Department of Law, Nagpur University, and its leaders for inviting me and giving me an opportunity. And also I thank each one of you for bearing with me and lending your ears very, very patiently. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, sir. And special thanks to you for accepting our invitation at this, at the last moment. So thank you so much. It was a wonderful lecture. There are few queries, sir, in the chat box, and if you permit, Padma madam can take these questions.
Yes, ma'am. Sir, Mr. Anuj Gandhi, the question. What are the potential environmental benefits and risks associated with the widespread adoption of electric vehicles in India?
Widespread adoption
of electric vehicles in India, sir.
No, I didn't. Electric
vehicles.
That word I did not get. Electric?
May I repeat?
Electric vehicles.
Okay. Can you type it in this chat box? What is that that word? I'll just see.
Sir, it is already there in the chat box.
I'm looking for it.
Sir.
I'll again put it in the chat box.
Okay. Okay, electric vehicles. Okay, fine. Electric vehicles. Of course, electric vehicles, it finds a immediate solution to the, emission from the other petrol or diesel vehicles. So that is there. And comparatively, it is of less pollution. Only problem is disposal of batteries. That's all. So otherwise, it is by and large, it is considered to be. See, known risk is only that much. Beyond that, it is yet to be found out. But as far as today's knowledge is concerned, it is less dangerous or less damaging than other fuels, except for the disposal of batteries. Yeah.
Sir, next question is from Rajiv Kirnikar. His question is, what are the new technologies helpful for environmental conservation?
Environmental conservation.
Yes.
See, mainly people say solar, but solar also less. See, every technology has its own polluting effect on the economy. Sorry, on the environment, and also economic cost. So it has to be addressed between the extent of impact and the economic viability. So solar is one of the technology where you can have a sustainable, development, and also all the entire gamut of, non-conventional energy sources, wind energy, energy from waves, energy from solar, all these things are there. And all together nowadays we call it as green technology. And see, recently I read an article. A person in somewhere, I think in Tamil Nadu or Karnataka, he has invented a material which can substitute plastic. It serves the purpose of plastic, but it is degradable. But the problem we have is uh, government or our agencies are reluctant to develop this in a commercial way. See, these technologies are workable in the laboratory conditions. To put it in commercial use, it requires a lot of expenditure. So economic viability comes in between. Otherwise, all these technologies are helpful in environmental conservation.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you. So thanks. Hope to see you sometime later. Thank you.
Participant question in.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, on behalf of Postgraduate Teaching Department of Law, Rashtrasanta Tugudaji Maharaj University, I would like to extend my heart to our esteemed guest, Professor Dr. Anil Variath, sir, to share his expertise and knowledge on emerging technology and environmental justice. Sir has rightly stated, can't avoid the technological development. But yes, it should be taking into the consideration its impact on the environment. So I think this session will help many research scholars to decide their research topics related to environment and technology. Thank you very much, sir, for guiding our research scholars. Thank you so much for valuable time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.